Hello everyone, welcome to another learning session. Today in our math class we'll be looking at profit and loss percentage, calculating profit and loss and also the percentage. The main focus will be on the percentage, but then we're quickly going to look at, remind ourselves of profit, how to calculate profit and loss, which is quite simple, very simple for our level. Now the example we're going to look at here is, if the cost price of a dress is 800 and you sell it for 1,200, how much is your profit? And then what is the profit percentage? Now to quickly refresh our memory, when you talk of profit, profit means the extra money you get when you have sold something more than the amount with which you bought it. You buy something and then you sell it at a bigger amount. That extra money you get, okay, is your profit. And if you buy something and then for any reason you sell it at a lower price than the amount you bought it with, the money you lost, that money that is short of what you bought it with, is your loss. Okay, so to calculate profit, what you simply do is to subtract your cost price from your selling price. Okay, so cost price, that is the amount with which you bought the item or the amount with which the item was bought, is 800 naira, the cost price, and we refer to it as CP. Okay, so when you see CP in a textbook, okay, especially when it is dealing with profit and loss, you know that CP means cost price and SP means selling price. So the selling price, the amount that the item was sold with, is 1,200 naira. So how do you calculate the profit? You simply subtract your cost price, which is 800 naira in this case, from the selling price, which is 1,200 naira. So let's do our subtraction. 0 take away 0, that's 0, that's 0. Now we can't take away 8 from 2, so we bring this one over here. So 12 take away 8, that gives us 4. Now that means that the profit is 400 naira. So 400 naira is the profit made. Now remember, the second question says that we should look for the profit percentage. What is the percentage of this profit made? So our profit is 400 naira. Now we are calculating the percentage profit, and the cost price is 1,002. Now just to bring this out as a strong point, something you need to remember: whenever you're calculating the percentage, you always use the profit and the cost price, not the selling price. The profit and the cost price. So when you're calculating profit percentage, this is what you do. You do profit divided by the cost price multiplied by 100%. Profit divided by the cost price multiplied by 100%. So profit in our case here is 400 divided by the yeah, that was a mistake, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Our cost price in this case is 800. Okay, it was the selling price that is it's the selling price that is 1,002. So the profit over the cost price multiplied by 100%, that's the formula we use. Okay, so we have 400 divided by 800, which is the cost price, multiplied by 100%. Okay, now to make the 100% look like the fraction we have over here, we can just write it over 1 to make the work simpler. Okay, so let's do our simplifying. So 0 cancels 0, 0, right? So here we know 4 can divide 8, right? 4 divides 4, 1, 4 divides 8, 2. Now what do we have left? We have 100% divided by 2, right? So 100 divided by 2 gives us 50. That means the percentage profit is 50%. It's 50%. Remember, if the profit we made is 400 and the cost price is 800, we know that 400 is half of 800. So it only makes sense because 50 is half of 100, which is what percent, what cent stands for. Okay, percent means per 100 out of 100. So 50 is half of 100, just like 400 is half of 800. So the percentage profit made in this case is 50%. Okay, let me quickly go over that again. To calculate the profit, you subtract your cost price from your selling price. Okay, and then you go further to get the percentage profit or the profit percentage. To do that, you use the profit and the cost price. You use the profit and the cost, not the selling price. Okay, so you divide the profit by the cost price and you multiply it by 100%. Then you simplify your work. After you simplify, you divide or multiply through, you will get your final answer, which is the profit percentage. Okay, let's take one more example. All right, so the next example we're looking at is that of a loss. Okay, now have it in mind that when you're giving questions, you may not be directly told or expressly told that is a case of loss or profit. So you could be required to determine whether it's loss or profit. When you do your calculation, you could be asked, is it a profit or loss? And then asked to calculate the percentage loss or the percentage profit. But for the case of this video, or just to save us some time and all of that, I'm just going to tell us expressly that it is loss or profit, like I did in the first case. Okay, so this is a situation of loss, and we just need to go ahead and calculate what the loss is and what the percentage loss is, or the loss percentage. Okay, so a man buys a book for 2,500 naira and he sells it for 2,000 naira. What is the loss, and then what is the loss percentage? All right, so our cost price is 2,500, selling price is 2,000. Now the loss is the cost price minus the selling price. In the first example, you notice that to calculate our profit, we did selling price minus cost price. So what actually matters in looking for profit and loss is not like it must be selling price minus cost price. You just subtract the smaller amount from the bigger amount, so you get the profit or you get the loss. So since the cost price here is bigger, we are subtracting the selling price from the cost price. Okay, so 2,500 minus 2,000, you have 500 naira left. So the profit, the loss in this case is 500 naira. The person that sold this book suffered the loss of 500 naira. Next, we're going to calculate the loss percentage. So the loss here is 500 naira, as we have seen. So to calculate for the loss percentage, what we do is we divide the loss by the cost price and multiply it by 100%. Divide the loss by the cost price and multiply. So in this case, the loss is 500 and the cost price is 2,500 naira, and then we multiply it by 100%. Okay, so let's do a division. So 0 cancels, the two zeros cancel out, the 0 above. So we are left with here 5 divides 5, that's 1. 5 divides 25, that gives us 5. So what do we have here? We have 100% divided by 5. Okay, that's what we are left with now. So that gives us, so we're left with 100 here divided by 5. So let's do a division. 5 divides 5, that's 1. 5 divides 10, 2, and then you add a 0. So that means the 5 divided by 100 divided by 5 rather gives us 20, and that is 20%. So that means the loss percentage is 20%. So the loss percentage is 20%. So I hope we have learned something on calculating first profit and loss, and then the percentage profit or the percentage loss. So we encourage us to do more practice. Just look for problems, okay, on profit and loss, and try your hands on them, because the more you practice, the better you get at this. Okay, so if you have found this lesson helpful at all, please help us to like it, like the video, and then subscribe if you haven't done that already, please. And also help us share the word or spread the word out there, okay, so that people who are not yet aware of what we're doing here can be a part of this. So we hope to see you again next week. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed.